All right, so here we have Intro to Order Blocks Part 2. This main video is really just going to be going over training your eye for order blocks. Just a brief recap, in the first Intro to Order Blocks video, we went over what an order block was, the two types of order blocks there are, and how to draw them. So now we're going to be going over, like I said, just how to really train our eyes for those order blocks. So first, we can pick a time frame and identify all the order blocks that were created in HIT. So just to narrow it down, because the 15, it's way more broader. Just to narrow it down, let's go to the 1 hour and let's identify all the order blocks on the 1 hour that were created in HIT. The first one that catches my eye is this bullish order block, this last down candle before this up move. And I call it a bullish order block because we're looking to take it up, right? So I'm going to draw this one from the bottom of the body to the top of the wick. And there we have our 1 hour order block, okay? Now, if I can go and mark another order block that has been created and hit, we can see this one was created and it was hit twice. Okay. Even small stuff like this is considered an order block. You can even use that. You see that this is the last down candle before this up move. Then it came and hit once, came and hit twice, 3 times, 4 times, push. All right. And then we can even see here, have another order block. And we can see this one was hit twice, then made that push. We can go here. If we would have drew it from here to here, it actually hit here 1, 2 times, went down, came back up and hit it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I believe, times to take it down. All right. And then we even have an order block here. Slightly missed, but this would have been a small buy as well. So really just going on your chart and picking a time frame and marking order blocks that were created and hit, and what other confluences can you find besides that one hit. Like, I look for ones that have multiple hits because I use the bounces as confluence. All right, so that was on the 1 hour. Now I do want to go down to my favorite time frame, which is the 15-minute time frame. All right, so let's start here. I automatically see, could have drawn it either way. It was hit multiple times to take that down. And it would have worked because, let's say we entered our short position right where our order block begins and our stop loss is slightly above the wick attached to the order block. You still would have had that 2-to-1 risk to reward if you take it down to the next order block, and even here, 3-to-1. Okay, so we have a nice one there. Let's see what else. Even small stuff like this. The market really presents opportunities in so many ways. Look at this. Small up move, 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you start to notice rejection in a certain area, it's always good to ask yourself, well, where is that rejection coming from? Even this small rejection here. Where did this rejection come from here? Boom, it came from right here. All right. So again, we're just identifying order blocks. We got another one here. Oh, cool, right? This one only bounced off 1 time, so lower probability trade. This one was really good. We had the failed swing, which we'll be going over in other videos. But if you read the ebook or just watched other people who have this style of trading, you've heard of failed swing. So automatically, we have one order block hit here. Nice entry, technically 1, 2, 3, 4 times it bounced off of it. So that one gave us a lot of confluence. Less confluence on this one. It wicked up right to us and then it dropped right back down. But you could have got an entry off of this order block, which was hit 1, 2, 3 times. Could have taken that down. And now this is where we are currently. And we are here. So as you can see how the order blocks work, you could keep it really simple and use not only directional bias, like, okay, I know I'm in a downtrend, let me look for bearish order blocks to take it down. You know that the multiple bounces are extra confirmation. So like, just seeing this, one bounce, let's say you take that as, okay, 2 confirmations, 2 bounces, that's 2 confirmations, and it's an overall downtrend, right? You could have been like here, here, tight stop loss right above this order block wick, and then you could have had, boom, your overall target is where? Here. That's a 3-to-1 risk to reward, so that's a pretty good risk to reward. And then you can see, boom, easily hit your take profit. All right. So definitely order blocks are become very easy to spot the more you practice them. Let's go down to the 5-minute. Let's say, I definitely am more so of a scalper. I love the lower time frames. Sometimes the 15-minute puts a lot into perspective though, but I definitely do like the lower time frames, especially the 2-minute. The 2-minute's a really good time frame. All right, so we see the 2-minute gave us a beautiful double bounce trade right here for a sell. Could have taken it from short positioned here, stop loss here, and your take profit, boom. So that is a 1 to 5 risk to reward. Beautiful risk to reward, and you can look at it on a higher time frame and see it right there. All right, I love the lower time frames so much. Look at this. It's bouncing off of it 3 times, right? You can long position it, tight stop loss, long position it. You could take it back up here. There's so many things you can do with the lower time frame. And then once I would have seen this right here, my stop loss is at break even because it is a risky trade. Let's say I took this going against the trend. Definitely a risky trade. So then, boom, stop loss would have been slightly in profit, break even, and boom. All right. So yeah, there's multiple. Let's see. Let's go back to the 2-minute. So let's see. Didn't quite hit this one. Hit this one time. Oh, there we go. Boom. So it actually hit this one multiple times. It hit it one time here. Then it came and hit it another time here. And we see that it's making what? Lower highs. It's failing to swing. So that is another indication, to sell, right? And let's say we missed this for whatever reason, created another order block here that was hit. Look at that, 2 times. Boom. And then look at this. Another one here hit what? 2 times. All right. So those were a few different trades that you could have taken just off trading the 2-minute. And even right here, you can see like, okay, this could be considered as an order block. All right. Boom. It hit that. Now this became an order block here. And I would have seen that, okay, price is ranging around this area. Why is it doing that? Oh, that makes sense. There's an order block here. Boom. All right. Even small buys here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And up to the next level. Long position it here. Very tight stop loss there. Right up below the wick attached. And boom, we have I would have done my take profit there. And that's a 1 to 3 risk to reward on the 2-minute time frame. And even another one here. And I'm just going through to show you guys basically that there are trades and opportunities everywhere, especially if you feel like you're missing out. You're really not, because opportunities are presenting themselves all the time. And then we have this beautiful downtrend right here. So I also use going the way of the directional bias as one of my confluences. It helps with my trading, and it definitely helps to stick to the directional bias, especially when you're on these lower time frames. Because on the 1 hour or the 30-minute time frame, you might not, that was all this was this. But you may not see that until you go here, and it really is showing you like, okay, price is really failing to swing. Okay, let's see. So we picked a time frame and identified some order blocks that were created and hit. We just identified how many order blocks how many bounces the order blocks had off of them. And then let's identify the times we find the most common for order blocks to be hit for our entries. And this is on NAS 100. So let's say we said let's stick to the 2 minute right now. So right here we have, let's see. So this is a one hit order block here. So let's go to this one. Really only one hit as well for that one. The one with more confluence is here. So we see it's rejecting. So around like 248, we could say 245-ish. That is when price gave us that major sell push and started to drop down around that time frame, which is 2 a.m. EST. My chart is on EST. And it looks like price gave us another entry, because even though this all looks great, there's no secure entry within all of that. So price gave us another order block here, bounced off here, only gave us one bounce, came here and gave us almost what it looks like two, not quite. The one that gave us the best bounces and the highest probability is this short position here. That's because it has 1, 2, and then it didn't even get up here. So 3, you can take it down. And that is around 6:30 a.m. CST. And then we had another beautiful trade here with two beautiful rejections to keep the downtrend going at around 7:30 a.m. EST. Okay. So those are the major times that we've noticed for this one. It does look like price came in. Let's go to the opening. Looks like for opening, price bounced off of this order block here and continued to take price down. So this is our 930 candles over here, right? Came and took price down. And then we had another entry for a sell with two bounces around 10 a.m. So this could have been one here. Tight stop loss would have taken it. Let's see. It all depends on the past. So we would have went to the 15 and we would have looked to see like, okay, where am I taking it down? I would have taken it down here because, that's the next level. So let's go on the 2 minute and see. Boom, look at that. It would have been hit. Price would have came back up and hit here twice. That would have been another trade here. Sell, tight stop loss, and right to the next level. So just within the matter of around 9:30 and 10 o'clock, you have two trades, one with a 1 to 6 risk to reward and one with a 1 to 4 risk to reward, all on the 2 minute, all based on the fact that the overall trend is going down and it had two bounces off of our order block. Okay. So if we go to, I just want to go to one more day and go over the times because I trade this 9:30 time, right? So let's see. In this range, so I start trading around, I would say 8 a.m. CS or EST, and I don't trade any more trades after 2 p.m. EST. Sorry, I was getting my times mixed up. But I usually find my trades between like 8 a.m. EST and like 11 EST. Like that's usually the range for the most part. So boom, we would have one right here. This is at, so where's the 9:30? So 9:30, it did come here, then it started to trend upward a little bit. So I would have seen this, and I would have seen like, okay, it bounced twice off of there. Stop loss here, take profit, this next level here. Right? It would have been that next level there. So boom, it would have hit my 1 to 2 risk to reward, would have got that trade, and you're done by 10 o'clock, right? So about a 20-minute trade, right? So then price would have came back to this because even though it hit this order block and pushed up, it created another order block while doing that. And I literally can just slide that over and look, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's multiple confirmations for me. And it looks like it's failing to swing lower. And it wants to go up. So look, all I'm going to do is boom, put it at the top of where it just came from, and we have a 1 to 4 risk to reward. And this all happened at around the 10:30 EST mark, okay? Now you can find trades even earlier than that. Let's say you need to trade London session. All right, let's trade London session. All right, so I would have already been eyeing this order block. I would have seen that it rejected off of it twice, but it didn't respect it fully because the third time it closed here, and then the fourth it pushed up, and then it dropped. So it looks like it was just taking potentially the buy stops that were right here. This is what we call prices taking liquidity, and then it officially dropped. And then it came back here. I don't see an order block there. I would have even went to the 1 minute just to see. Did I mess it up? Here it was. Yeah, so I would have went to the 1 minute just to see, like what's going on there. So it stays. And I see, price had buy stops here, and look at that. It slightly went above the buy stops, and then it began to sink. I would have seen then that, price is rejecting off of this area here. What is that? Going on the 1 minute, the 2 minute didn't show. So you can go back and forth between the 1, 2, and 5 for trading like this. But you could have seen, okay, price is actually rejecting that area about 3 times. Long position it with a stop loss right below it, and your next take profit would have been here, or you could have actually would have taken it 1 to 4, and then as you see, it did hit, and that trade happened around 2:40 a.m., which is the time we set on the first trade that we looked at. So clearly that's a reoccurring time. It looks like we have another trade right here. And this is trading with the trend. We see that it's an overall uptrend right now. So we're definitely trading with the trend. We had 3 rejections here. It failed to pass this order block. On the third one, you would have seen that. Could have taken it up to here, right here, 2 to 1. You even could have done something like this. If you would have seen, it kept rejecting here. Much more of a sloppier trade. I would have had a super tight stop loss like here. Actually, I wouldn't have even taken that. The risk to reward isn't good enough for me to take. You never want to. I don't take 1-to-1 risk to reward. And like I said, it's better to just go with the flow of the directional bias, and that just showed like you get much better risk to reward going with the flow of the directional bias. So here we have 2 rejections here. Let's say you want to get in this one, tight stop loss. This is at around almost 3:30. We could have went back to the higher time frames to get a good take profit. So we could have had our take profit there, and then go to the 1 minute, and we'll see like, okay, that's a 1 to 2 risk to reward. Go back to the 15. I don't know where it just went because we're on the 1 minute. There it is. All right. And, you know, we could have taken it to here going on the 1 minute. That's a 1 to 7 risk to reward. Super good risk to reward. And it clearly, boom, let's stop it right here. Put your stop loss. You know, you could have put an in profit here or put it right below, right above the low. Stop loss is in profit. And, oh, it looked like it was about to hit my stop loss in profit. At this point, something about this right here, when I would have seen this, I would have moved my stop loss even like closer up. Like, okay, if it goes below there, it might be tanking down. So just take me out if it gets here, right? And that's still a 1 to 4 risk to reward, stopping it there. That's still pretty good. All right. So, and then what time was that? Let's see. Oh, yeah, we said the 3:30. Yeah, so as you can see, you know, the market gives trades at pretty much all the time, anytime. There's always trades if, if your setup presents it, you know, but every day the market, for the most part, does present with something definitely tradable, even right here. Look at this. So this one, you know, you might have been fishy right here, but looking at this right here and it bouncing off of this area as well 3 times and it's failing to swing, you could get in, boom, around 3:30 a.m. EST, right? So you have one trade there. Let's see where else. You even have this here. You know, this bounced off of it multiple times. Again, a little bit tricky because you would have gotten in, if you would have gotten in, you know, on this 4th bounce, put your, you know, stop loss right above it. Take profit probably would have been here. 1 to 3 risk to reward, but again, could have been a little tricky based on the bounce you got in. I would also go to, that's when I would go to the 5 minute just to see what it's looking like on that time frame as well. And what time is that? Yeah, 6:40, not usually around a time I trade. Going to the times I usually trade. Boom, we have, so when it looks like this, super tiny, barely a candle. I mean, you can draw it like this, or you could just put, you know, like a line, up to you, right? So boom, I see it did bounce off once at 7:44 a.m. EST. But I don't really like that trade, so I'm going to wait. And this would have been something I would have taken and liked. This is 3 bounces around 8:20 a.m. So let me go ahead and long position it. Let's say I just caught it there. My stop loss would have been here. And my take profit, let's go on the higher time frames. My take profit would have been, is this where I'm at? Hold on. Yeah, okay. Just want to make sure. All right. So if it's right here, my take profit would have been first here at this high. Okay. My second take profit would have been up here. Okay. Sorry, I had to get that together. All right. And then as you see, price did come back to our area. So let's say for whatever reason, we did not enter with these 3 at 8:20. Price actually came back around 9 o'clock and bounced off of it again officially. And it looks like that's when it took off. And we have 9:20, 9:22. Beautiful takeoff. And if you look, it gave us an entry here as well. This is the 9:30 candle. So it bounced at 9:28 here. And at 9:30, it completely took off. And then we could have been like, okay, well, where's it taking off? This is when you can use the higher time frames and be like, oh, okay, it's bouncing off the 30-minute order block, and it has a lot of rejection. So an aggressive trader, they maybe would have gotten in right here and done something like this, 1 to 2 risk to reward, or took it to the bottom. And then it actually looks like, well, you would have put it here. So it looks like it actually did go through. So it did go through. If you would have waited, maybe probably would have been more smart to wait. If you go on the lower time frames, it actually gives you more in depth of what just happened. So you could have gotten in here and been a little iffy. You would have waited, seen like, okay, it's rejecting it and it's failing to swing lower. So this would have been better to get in. This would have been the more safe way to get in, because then you could short position it, put your stop loss, right above here. You'd have a more accurate area of knowing where to put it. You could have done TP1. We would go back TP2, and then I would put TP3, TP4, and bottom of the bottom, TP5. Okay. So, and then again, that was me using, the 30-minute, the 15. And then if I see something on the 30 or the 15, that's why I go down to the lower time frames to just give me more in depth of really what's going on with price. But other than that, we went over everything. We identified how many bounces are off the order blocks, and the good ones to use, depending on the bounces and the directional bias. We identified the times, we found most common. We saw around 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. EST, and around like 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. or 10:30-ish EST as well. Great times to trade indices. And then, we pretty much identified everything for the most part. So I hope that Intro to Order Blocks Part 2 was very helpful. You can always email me if you have questions.